Finally, it's over. I sighed in relief, staring at my husband lying in the coffin. Over time, his attitude towards me had grown harsh, and he had changed into someone unrecognizable. Despite the hatred I harbored, I had devotedly taken care of him when he fell ill. As those grueling days came to an end, I felt a sense of relief. However, there was one thing about my husband that bothered me. What did that mean? This uneasy feeling led to the revelation of a truth that was completely unexpected. I am Gabriella. I married my husband, Hunter, who was 2 years older than me, when I was 27. He was a salaryman, and I worked as a fairly well-known freelance writer, both of us working to support our household. Unfortunately, we were not blessed with children, but I was never dissatisfied with my married life. Being with him made me truly happy. His gentle nature always made him considerate of me. We exchanged words of gratitude daily, went out together on holidays, and celebrated our anniversaries at the same restaurant every year. I loved my kind husband from the bottom of my heart. However, a sudden crisis befell our happy life. You're home. You're quite late. Was work tough?
Huh. Why are you still up?
I was worried since you've been coming home late lately.
Work's been hectic. I'm too tired to talk, so leave me alone.
I frowned as I watched him, irritated and heading straight to the bedroom. About 10 years into our marriage, my once kind husband suddenly became cold. He started coming home late, ignored my greetings, and refused to eat the meals I prepared. I couldn't understand the cause, and without that understanding, I couldn't find a way to approach him. Perhaps it was because I had aged, now 37, and lost some of my youthful charm. Despite this, my love for him remained unchanged. I tried to win him back by cooking with more effort and attempting to initiate physical affection. But he completely ignored me. Worse, he would throw hurtful words at me, saying he was ashamed to walk outside with me and regretted marrying me. Our 10th anniversary came and went without any celebration. I wanted to make Hunter happy. How did it come to this? Around this time, I was entrusted with a significant job and planned to express my gratitude to him on our anniversary. But I had to give up on this plan due to his hostile demeanor. In this tough time, I found a source of strength in my sister-in-law Madison, who lived alone nearby. He's being horrible. I'll talk to him too. She always expressed anger whenever I shared my troubles. We were both freelance writers, and although we couldn't discuss work details due to confidentiality, this commonality made us close. We would meet for tea and enjoy each other's company. I'm praying for your happiness with him. Thank you. You're my rock. I don't need anything for it. Just listening and supporting me is enough. Her cheerful smile always gave me strength. Despite her support, the situation didn't improve. My husband, once gentle, now treated me coldly. The verbal abuse grew more frequent. What did I do to deserve this? Initially, I was just sad, but it didn't take long for hatred to grow. Then one day, an unexpected incident occurred. Hey, wake up! What's going on? One morning, I found Hunter unconscious in bed. I called an ambulance and rushed to the hospital with him. After various tests, it was revealed that he had a serious illness with only a few years to live. This can't be happening. Despite the grim news, Hunter, now awake, listened to the doctor without expression. I would have held his hand and comforted him in the past, but I no longer understood his feelings. From then on, I began caring for him as he gradually became unable to move. But even during care, he was cold to me.
Don't touch me.
You need to change your clothes to feel better.
I don't want you to care for me.
His irritated voice wore down my spirit. Managing work, house chores, and his care left me with no time for myself. Yet, he only complained, saying he didn't want to see my face and sometimes throwing food or clothes at me. There was not a word of thanks. Despite everything, I remembered the happy times and cared for him out of love. However, no one could endure such days forever. Just a few more years. Eventually, I became detached, merely fulfilling my duties out of obligation. What kept me going was the end in sight and my sister-in-law's visits. His condition worsened, transitioning from home care to hospital care, where he continued to treat me harshly. Finally, 3 years after his collapse, the end came. One morning, Hunter passed away at 42. Finally, it's over. I couldn't suppress my feelings of relief, standing before my peacefully resting husband. I might seem like a terrible wife, but I was at my limit. While it was unfortunate that we couldn't return to happier days, I felt I had fulfilled my duty as his wife. From now on, I'll start anew and live my life. I felt a sense of relief that those painful days were over. However, a few days later, an event changed my perspective completely. It happened when I went to the hospital to thank the staff after the funeral. A nurse who had often cared for Hunter handed me a note. He asked me to give this to you if he passed away. A note from Hunter? It read, "Gabriella, thank you for everything. From now on, please eat lots of delicious food at our favorite place." The writing, though shaky, was undoubtedly Hunter's. Instead of feeling touched, I was puzzled. Despite his lack of gratitude during his final years, this note echoed his former kindness. What puzzled me most was the last line. What does this mean? I stared at the words "our favorite place." The only place that came to mind was the restaurant we visited for our anniversaries. But it wasn't a place for indulging in food, just for special occasions. Something felt off. Maybe there's something at that restaurant. With this thought, I decided to visit the restaurant in his memory. This decision turned out to be correct. As soon as I entered, the owner approached me solemnly.
We've been expecting you.
He handed me something that made me exclaim in shock. What? How could he? Minutes later, I was filled with rage towards a certain person. I had discovered a truth far from what I had imagined. Weeks later, I visited a house. The truth I uncovered was hard to accept, but it was something I couldn't ignore. As Hunter's wife, I had to act. Sitting inside, she offered me tea as usual, her face as cheerful as ever. You've been through a lot. But why are you here today? Her smiling face, once reassuring, now frightened me. Thinking back to the days after Hunter's death, I clenched my fists with resolve. I wanted to talk. About why Hunter turned cold towards me. Did you find something out? I've been so worried about you. Don't play dumb. I can't believe you were behind it. My voice trembled with anger, and she fell silent. Hunter left me a message. So I know everything now. That day, when I went to the restaurant, I was handed a diary. It turns out, the owner of this restaurant was Sergio, an old friend of my husband. My husband and Sergio were quite close, and Sergio had suggested we celebrate our anniversary at his restaurant to honor our happiness as a couple. And my husband had asked Sergio to give me this diary after his passing. I was surprised when I read the diary. I had no idea you were so envious of me. At my words, my sister-in-law's eyes flashed sharply. The diary detailed the truth about everything that had happened. According to my husband's writings, while outwardly friendly, my sister-in-law had always envied my position as a writer. She had heard about a big job offer I received and could no longer contain her jealousy. She then resorted to blackmailing my husband, threatening to spread negative rumors about me on social media if he didn't comply with her demands to stress me out. Apparently, she wanted to ruin my career without damaging her own reputation. At first, my husband refused her demands. But his resolve eventually crumbled. You seemed incredibly jealous. He wrote that he didn't know what you might do if he didn't follow your orders. Ultimately, my sister-in-law, wielding a knife, cornered my husband. Realizing how dangerous she was, my husband felt a sense of crisis. He feared she might eventually harm me directly. So, he decided to act harshly towards me, hoping to give her what she wanted, causing me emotional distress and possibly leading to divorce. He thought that if we divorced, my sister-in-law and I would become strangers, reducing her opportunities to contact me. Believing Sergio was safe to confide in, my husband had been consulting him all along. During their final meeting, he gave Sergio the diary, asking him to ensure I got it. The diary ended with apologies and a warning to escape because it's dangerous. What does that mean? Explain. I glared at my sister-in-law, my voice trembling. Despite everything, part of me still wanted to believe in her. While I didn't doubt my husband and Sergio's words, it was also true that she had helped me numerous times before. If you just apologized sincerely. But my hopes were quickly dashed. That's just my brother's delusion. I haven't done anything. Her mocking voice made something inside me go cold. Despite my hatred towards my husband in recent years, the love he once gave me lingered. The person I chose wouldn't lie so elaborately. Disrespecting him like this was something I couldn't forgive as his wife. I see. If you won't admit it, then you'll have to face punishment. What? I've done a bit of research into your writing career. In the next moment, her expression changed drastically as she looked at me. Determined to find a way to punish her, I had thoroughly investigated her. Rumors were circulating that she was blackmailing celebrities for forced interviews and writing fabricated gossip articles to make money. None of it has gone public yet, but if it's true, it's serious. Do you understand? Proof? You're just jealous because you can't find good stories. As I glared at her, she turned red and stood up. I calmly watched her reveal her true nature, and it was clear from her behavior that the rumors were likely true. Moreover, I had solid evidence of her misdeeds. Getting angry won't help. I've already talked to the celebrities you wrote about. What? How? I also introduced them to a skilled lawyer I know. My sister-in-law's jaw dropped, shocked that I had gone that far. Being a well-known writer, I used my connections to talk directly to the idols and actors she targeted. It turned out the rumors were true. I then suggested they sue her, and introduced them to a lawyer. Several crimes apply here. Not only will you be sued, but your career as a writer is over. Finally realizing her dire situation, her face turned pale, and she bowed deeply to me. I am sorry. I apologize for everything. Oh. Weren't you just saying you didn't know anything? That was a lie. I was jealous of you. I'm really sorry, please don't take me to court. Tearfully, she confessed everything. She wrote false articles to gain fame and planned to use my husband to pressure me, all while pretending to be a supportive sister-in-law. Hearing her confession brought me a mix of relief and sadness. Please forgive me. If I get sued, what will happen to me? Her desperate cries made me sigh deeply. No matter how much she apologized, my husband was gone. He had died with unresolved misunderstandings, and I couldn't forgive her for that. If you truly regret it, you need to atone for your sins. With that, I firmly told her off and left, leaving her slumped over in despair. Eventually, my sister-in-law was sued by those she had wronged. Thanks to the skilled lawyer, she had to pay a total of $100,000 in damages. She was also expelled from the industry, losing all her contracts. As for me, I've come to terms with everything and am returning to a peaceful life. Knowing the truth, my hatred for my husband has vanished, and the time we shared has become a cherished memory. I hope that one day, I can reunite with him in the clouds, and we can truly understand each other and enjoy happy times together. How was this story? Please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.